but we're gonna get into some messages. I think we're gonna do like a you versus them. And I just wanted to get on live also and just mention that um initiation by air. So messages maybe coming. Um Divine devotion. I swear my mind is like so much. Give you updates. So I'm working on some things in the back end. I shut down my stand store and I have my Void membership portal, but it's like so fucking disjointed right now that I have been recording a lot of readings actually, like this whole time. Like I hardly get on live, I feel like. But I record like audio readings and stuff. I have like at least like 20 in the chamber right now. They're timeless messages, and a lot of them, especially when I'm not on camera, I notice like I maybe the channel's open clear, or I'm able to just kind of like not think about perception, I think maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I have a bunch of things to share. And so I'm restructuring basically in the background. And if you're interested in a personal reading, whether it's up, whether it's not, wherever you see this, because these get reposted to YouTube, look at the description or look where I have links and you'll be able to find what you need to find. If it's not up there, that means that it's not available. Okay. Cause like I can't even keep up. I feel like I'm saying like different like CTAs in the readings, but I'm being called to like, you know, share the readings or record, but I don't have the back end set up the way that I need to. And so I'm getting it together. Okay. I feel like I'm always, well, not always, but like I have changed the structure so many times because I just hadn't been able to put my finger on certain things. But I also feel like I feel like I'm constantly changing. I feel like I'm constantly developing and like I'm going through another, like this period of time, I would say these past few weeks have been a mind fuck, okay? And it's not bad. It's just like a lot of processing. Especially I'm looking down on my foot. I had fractured my foot. I think I mentioned that on my last live. And it's like there's like this I guess devotion energy that has come over me. It's like I don't want to sit back and wait to like move my body or to get up and do things now, because it's like now I see like the value in that. So that may even be a message coming through of like, maybe somebody didn't understand someone's value, or again, like the things that you could be learning on an individual level could apply, twofold to another like a connection. So it's like I feel like if you're feeling activated in the masculine and you identify with, being in your feminine a lot of the time, or you've been initiated into more feminine, you've had more feminine initiations, and now you're strengthening your masculine, you're showing up for yourself, you're devoted to yourself. The masculine could also be receiving activations, if there's like some kind of psychic link. We're already talking and assuming as if there's a psychic link because that's what I'm picking up on. But it feels like there is longing energy, there is recognition. I feel like there's almost a little bit of addiction, obsession. Um, so we're gonna get into that as well. Because I can't tell. I want to say, those aren't good things to have, but it kind of feels like, I mean, you don't want anybody to be in that energy regardless, like, if it's towards you or if you have that energy towards another. You want somebody to be in devotion, passion, showing up, grounded, taking action, feeling the feelings, you know what I'm saying? Like, being in it with you. But that longing and just obsession from afar, it can almost kind of take a toll. It takes a toll on both parties, it feels like. Um, it takes a toll on both parties because the person that feels like they're getting pulled on, obviously it's not a good feeling to get pulled on all the time energetically, and or they pick up on a lot depending on who's like more and maybe it's not more, but if you guys are both intuitive, you guys are picking up on the energies, it can be distracting, Your focus is not completely where it should be, like in the present moment. Um, and it's like the invitation to ask yourself, well, why are you not involving the other person in your present moment? You know what I'm saying? Is it circumstantial? Are there things in the way? Or do you desire to be in longing energy and not in devotion energy? Is that too like are you too afraid to be in that type of energy? Um, hello, hello. I haven't even started pulling cards yet. I'm just like talking, I guess. But yeah, like you have to wonder, why do you not want to like move it forward? Why do you not want to invite this person into your, like, why do you want to stay in longing energy? Do you have like a more shadowy desire to like be more avoidant, I guess? Okay. We have divine talents coming out. Beautiful. The power of the divine masculine in the reverse and past life activation in the reverse. So we have divine talents. Ooh, fell on the ground. Oh, okay. This was the only one that came up right. And we have fierce presence. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like you may be coming into new gifts, new downloads about people. You know what I'm saying? You said the timing, yes. I'm telling you, this time feels very crazy. Yes, the divine talent. That's why I feel like the it could show up as new gifts coming online, and or you could be more devoted to your sacred path. You taking it more seriously, okay, of like, and this is like again an activation of your own internal divine masculine, but this is like past life activation in the reverse and the power of divine masculine in the reverse. It's interesting that those are both in the reverse. I think as whoever I'm reading for, is giving faded. Yes. You're so welcome. Um, as you are turning that masculine energy, that devotion energy in on yourself, I think that the thread, like I'm saying, I'm picking up on another person. The thread, they can feel that your energy isn't like, again, like your focus is going somewhere else. I feel like they could be feeling like a door closing as well, like a window of time closing, maybe even anxiety around a window of time closing. What do I have? Okay, I do have it over there. Definitely feel super driven right now. That's what I'm saying. I feel like, oops, I feel like I like had an injury, and all of a sudden now I'm like, I need to take my workout routine seriously. I need to blah 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 blah. And it's like I feel like whatever activation, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like all of a sudden, like your mind isn't so focused on maybe the connection or a past connection or why didn't this work out or I wonder if they're thinking about me or are they looking at my page or you know what I'm saying? Like now it's like I think I'm just gonna focus on myself. I think I'm gonna be fully present. I think I'm going to give this to my all, whatever this project is that's sitting in front of me. And it's so interesting when like things happen in life, it has a way of like bringing your fucking attention back to where it should be. You know what I'm saying? Wrangling. That's what I'm picturing, like a lasso. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I just booked some personal training sessions. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like um, I've been waking up super early in the morning for whatever reason. Like, I mean, I've been feeling like very activated in the morning, like early in the morning. And so I can't go to sleep. I'm like, I might as well go to the gym in the morning, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess. Okay. Overall energy. These are kind of hard to shuffle. And I have bigger hands. So we have fire, travel, moon in the reverse. I mean, it's kind of hard to see. You should see my setup. It's so janky. I need to upgrade this. I accidentally kicked over my stand and it's not giving. We're gonna read this card. Oh, but it looks like there's again, some kind of internal activation. This does look like the feminine. This gives me the moon card or the high priestess, you know? Number 33, water, lake, and moon. That's so pretty. Um, and then we have s- oh my gosh. Sorry. My son is texting me. He needs help with his homework. I'm gonna help him in a second. But the fire is in the reverse. The masculine, the fire energy is in the reverse. Actually, I want to tell him that real quick. I'll be right back. Since I can't text. Xavier, I'll be done. Help you in a second, okay? Well, like, give me like 20 minutes. Okay. Not you see my ratty tatty meditation pillow. Actually, I cannot sit on that foot. That hurt. Okay. It looks like the feminine is doing her thing, and or this is hidden. There is some kind of like activation happening on a hidden tip. You know what I'm saying? With the moon card, there may be some kind of illusion. Um so that you cannot see what is happening, but you can feel what is happening on the other side. Um I feel like even seeing like even how I picked up the cards right now, Capricorn I use, Sagittarius and Sagittarius I see in the reverse. This is giving Saturn is on my neck right now on the masculine. Saturn is um, requiring some commitment before expansion. And um, and when we're saying on the masculine, this could be like you and your internal masculine, you know? And then it could also be reflected outside of you with a connection. Does that make sense? And all this blue, this purple, again, is connecting to this moon card. There's something that is being required of each party to break through a certain level that may be related to, I don't know if you can see this, past life activation. Not repeating the cycle that may have happened previously. This could be as deep as a past life, you know, as it's saying on the card, or it could just be like a previous cycle that happened, you know? Third house messages. Third house. That's what I'm saying. And there's like the Eye of Ra right there. So Egyptian mysticism or mythology could be something that, you know, you hold dear to you, or you guys have discussed this, or you feel a connection there, something like that. Destiny in the reverse, 11th house friends in the reverse, Venus love in the challenge position, Virgo I analyze in the reverse. Oh, it's giving the need to know. You know that song The Need to Know by Wale? And where it opens up with like the friends scene where they're like, it wouldn't be that bad or whatever they say. Ugh, Libra on the bottom of the deck. There is a relationship brewing that I think that someone tried to put in the friends box, and it's not happening. It's not meant to happen that way. And they can't understand. They don't understand why they can't get you off of their mind. They're trying to figure it out. Virgo, I analyze in the reverse, and they're like, they were just supposed to be a friend. It started off as friends. You know what I'm saying? We just started off as homies, you know, but it was like that friends quote in the beginning of the song. The song is called The Need to Know, and it talks about basically like, should we try this or not, you know? And I feel like what's coming through is that you said, do you do private readings? I do, but I don't have a booking. I was just saying I don't have a booking link. I literally just took down my booking link. But if you want to message me about a personal reading, then I'd be happy to do one for you. The back end of my stuff is so messy right now. I'm like transitioning from doing TikTok readings to like here and getting it organized in a way that fits Substack and like fits the new chapter of life. You know what I'm saying? But that was a long explanation. But basically, I can hook you up with a personal reading. But yeah, I'm taking my time with putting out a link. um, but yes, it's giving the need to know. Look up that song by Wale. And, I forget who else is in that song, but it's like that Friends quote that starts off and he's like, "It wouldn't be that," and they're like, that part would be great though. They kept mentioning like, like hooking up basically would be like really interesting. Like they both wanna see what that's about, but they don't wanna ruin the friendship? And then the song goes on to like actually explain like deeper feelings and like curiosity and like I'm getting chills. But what was coming through with the past life activation, is like there's a familiarity with a connection, and so your brain wants not just your brain, you want this person, both parties want each other to be in one another's lives? Okay, perfect. I'm looking forward to it. Um, both parties want each other to be in one another's lives, but because there is like this thing, it feels like walking on a like what is that called? A mine? A you know? I forget what that's called. It's like walking on a landmine. It feels like walking on a landmine where you like you know that you may touch something that may ruin it? But what and I think that it's destined in a way to hit yes, a minefield. Um it's like you guys are supposed to hit a certain thing to activate. It feels like activate the masculine maybe in a past life activation, and or to bring up oh, yeah, this is making sense. Okay. The moon over the divine talents. If they don't get into the shadow work, if there's no activation between y'all in a love way, because that's how you get to see each other's true shadows, if there's no activation in that way, they also will miss out on the divine talents. You know what I'm saying? Because when you really think about it, especially if I'm reading for the divine feminine, I hate that it goes this way, but I don't hate it. Everything is so divine. But our greatest gifts develop from our darkest times. Sometimes our greatest heartbreaks. We get closer to ourselves and we understand ourselves on a deeper level. Things activate within us. We release density. All of these things happen when we actually allow ourselves to feel the feelings? And so this person feels like they're avoiding the landmine by keeping you in a friend box, and it's supposed to I don't think they're supposed to, keep you in the friend box. Yeah, part of fortune increase. Actually, where is your part of fortune at? Where's their part of fortune at? That would be interesting to look at. Um, for me personally, and the way that I'm, as the reader, my part of fortune is in the 7th house, so this would equate to increase when you deal with relationships. Like, when you actually go there in relationships, when you actually, like and I have Pisces there, so, like, the vulnerability in relationships? So it's like, that is how it's showing up here as a potential activation. That this person that's why they don't understand why you won't go away? You have an essence. You have a provoking essence. You're a tower moment for this person, Grand Cross Provoker. It's just building. The provoker card is like a tension that is building? And that's so funny. I love when spirit does this. The landmines. They're trying to figure out where it is. It's like that sinking my battleship. That's what this looks like, right? It's like when you're playing the game and you're like picking the squares and you're like, I hope that when I place this ship here, it doesn't blow up? And that's kind of what it feels like. Number 46 is missing in here because we have 45, we're missing 46, now we have 47 and 48. What is 46? What is missing? What are they not getting? Or what are y'all both not getting? 44. 46. Oh, the blessings. That's what I'm saying. They're missing the blessings, and the 44 that comes out before this is solar eclipse in the reverse. The masculine is not doing the integration process. And so it's interesting, on your own, you may be experiencing, you may be feeling drawn to turn on your internal masculine or your divine masculine, that devotion to yourself, because through I feel like the most simplest explanation is, like, through you not focusing on them. Am I saying that right? Yeah. Battlefield, yes, battlefield, yeah, and love is a battlefield. That's why Venus is in the challenge position. Um, but they're missing the potential blessing, which would actually activate their fire. Interesting. Probably through conflict, probably from being a little bit heated, probably from being a little bit pissed off, but also through desire and, like, through, like, living. Like, I feel like they're just kind of like, I pick up like a stagnant energy, you know? And so they're like, because they're trying to keep something in a box, and it's like, it's dull. And so they need some fire in their life, you know? Not in a toxic way, but it's like you have to be willing to conflict is like an important part of growth, you know? And so, and trust me, I feel like, I mean, we're still breaking these patterns. I feel like I mainly erred on the side of conflict avoidant, you know? And it's like, or, you know, you put yourself in situations that are shadowy, aka you have a couple of drinks or something like that, and then you can, like, let loose. You can, like, go off on somebody and be like, "Oh, I was just drunk. I was just drunk. That wasn't the real me." No, that's how you really felt. You know what I'm saying? And so, rather than putting yourself in those type of situations, or this person doesn't seem like they have those outlets, they don't have healthy outlets. um well, they don't need a healthy outlet for this. They need to actually confront this. That's what the thing is. They need to learn about healthy confrontation and be in a container that has, like, the ability to hold them in conflict, you know, and trust that the container is safe. Because really, I mean, it's really about them feeling safe to explore conflict, you know. And that actually brings forth, it feels like it releases some energy that's, like, stuck in the subconscious. It's interesting. I was gonna do a you versus them, but I'm kinda like, so I was saying, by you not focusing on them, um, they kind of have to admit to themselves in a way that they have this thing about you, you know? And it's not a thing of you being in their face, and that's what makes logical sense as to why you would be on their mind or blah, 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 you know? Um, it's like you are literally focused on other things, and you're activating your own divine masculine energy as well. So it's like you are confronting things on your own, you're showing up for yourself, you know? And so there's this, like, energy activation happening within y'all, but also, like, they kinda have to admit to themselves that is their own obsession energy. And then you're not, like, making it easy for them, I guess? Yes, sun, spirits, something to be illuminated. Also, this is that life force energy. They need to, like, feel invigorated. They need to, I feel like there's an invitation to connect to their spiritual side as well. Spirit is also highlighting to them how much value you bring to the connection with the Taurus I have on the bottom of the deck, because it's like they I'm feeling like a dumbfounded, like, it's an essence. You have an essence that's like you are activating them on a spiritual level, but also, like, they're realizing that you have something that they need. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's going to bring. They can feel intuitively that it's probably going to lead to maybe a little bit of conflict, you know, which is probably why they're avoiding whatever. But they have to go through that, to receive this activation. Mhm. Saturn is turning it up a notch for them. Whatever Saturn got them going through, it's bringing them back to your essence, like, consistently. Um, yeah. So you may be feeling an uptick in, like, their energy around you, because they're going through these activations. You have something that they need, but they don't wanna admit it. Mm, mm, mm. What angels are supporting this message? The angel of rain. Aw, they may be in meditation right now. Or maybe when they're in meditation, maybe they are trying to, like, balance their mind, you know? And maybe when they're in meditation or they're contemplating, they have thoughts of you. This person's lonely. They feel I feel like I'm picking up on an energy of, like, they may feel like you would be being very generous to connect with them for whatever reason. Like, they feeling like you would be generous. Angel of mist, that's why I'm saying mists. It's an essence. It's like this person, it's so interesting because that's like the water references, like this is angel of rain and they're talking about generosity. Maybe that's how it felt like with connection with you too. It's like they can get into with their spiritual side. They can be in contemplation. They could like, turn things over in their mind. They felt like you were being generous with them, or maybe they didn't understand how generous you were being. But there's a vibe of like abundance here with the rain. And now it's like mist. It's like something that just like covers them. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're constantly like wet, dewy, you know what I'm saying? But in a sad way, it feels like I do see a crow here as well, a couple of crows. So it's like maybe they feel like they're getting messages of you as well. They feel like they're stuck in the middle. It says this place that is somewhere in the middle. Where can I go if I'm denied flight? How can I stay if I'm denied presence? These questions fill the night air, crowding my wings and obscuring the light. But I know that I am not fog, but I also know that I am. That is actually really beautiful, but it's like really they know that their presence, they're not in a place to be completely open for whatever reason. And again, it could be avoidance of their own like landmines, you know what I'm saying? But they know that they are the fog, but your presence is like an essence that they can't get rid of at the same time. But then it's like again, when they're in contemplation or these questions fill the night air, when they're alone by themselves, for some reason, you just keep popping up. And it says, like, I'm somewhere in the middle. Where can I go if I'm denied flight? Like, they can't leave for whatever reason. They feel like they're confined to whatever circumstances they're in right now. But how can I stay if I'm denied presence? You're not letting them around you for whatever reason. Or unless there is this level of openness and vulnerability or I feel like admittance of like this isn't meant to be this, you know? You can't gaslight me out of what I'm feeling, you know? So we have emanation of severity in the reverse. This one is about justice. It's like someone delivering a sword. I don't know if you can see that. Yes, the sword. Left hand of Ian Soft. To strike out and cleave the barrier between all things. There can be no peace without strife. I feel like with this being in the reverse, they are hoping that They're trying to there's like an avoidance of the truth. They don't want to be hit with like there's like a wordplay thing coming in. There's severity, but then there's like severance, and then there's like severance pay, and that's like what you get paid, to be to be on relief of something, like if you're ending a job, right? They give you severance pay. It's like they want to be done with something, but they need like wiggle room or something like that. Angel of Scorpio. Angel of Scorpio don't really care about that. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to end something, it's time to end something. Barbiel. There are times when words fail and action must be taken. When trials beset our lives and no other course of action is available, we have to fight. The nature of this sign is to be an ally, loving in the easy times and harsh when the world demands it. Angel Barbiel is our sword against the darkness. It is our power to strike back when necessary. So there is a particular action that this person needs to take. The action may actually lead to them killing an old version of themselves. I know that was a strong word. I don't know, like these days, unaliving themselves. Um, Because a Scorpio, they go through 7 different transformations, but did you know that a Scorpio, if they feel threatened enough, if it's backed into a corner, it will kill itself before it lets somebody else attack them. So this person, it feels like they need the option. They need to Spirit is giving them the option, but it's kind of all leading to the same thing, right? It's like they feel like they have multiple they need more time, they need to buy more time, they need more time to think, they need more time to avoid the truth, they need more time to not step on the landmines, they need to figure it out. Again, I need to analyze this. Why is this person in my mind? Blah, blah, blah. I need more time, I need to think. And Saturn's like, "Okay, time is ticking." And Scorpio is saying, "You feel you are gonna make your own decision." You know what I'm saying? You are going to make your own decision, but it all leads to the same place. That's what you don't understand. It all leads to the same thing. It's a prophecy. We have angel of the written word. It's prophecy that this person goes through what feels like this I'm just going to call it a death portal where they have to surrender the old version of themselves, which I feel like hides many of their gifts. It's very much masked, versions, they have masked themselves. And so this connection that you have, again, it's begging them to become more in tune with their spiritual, not begging them, but you know what I'm saying, beckoning them to become more in tune with their spirit, more in tune with their higher self. And so that's what they're not seeing. That's why it's like the gift of fire, the gift of desire, the gift of blessings, like through life force energy. Like you're connecting to your soul when you connect on this path. That's what you don't understand. You think that it's like connected to this one person or whatever, or that you have a bunch of options. Really, you came down here knowing that you wanted to have this activation, knowing, again, it's prophetic. It's something that you've already agreed to. This is a soul contract that you already agreed to. That's why it felt familiar. That's why it's, again, a past life activation. So it's like you feel like you're getting away from something, you're buying time or whatever, but you're not. This, the angel of the written word says, when was a death, this angel would carve the name of the deceased in a stone that was laid above the grave. He said that laid above the grave. He said that this made men look more like angels. So, and it's not to say that that's a bad thing. I think that when we start to talk about like, that type of energy, it feels like it's scary. It's death energy, blah, blah, blah. When you're going through a death portal, you are on the way to being reborn, when you especially if you have like strong Scorpio energy, you may be more familiar with this than you realize, but to avoid your own, it feels like your own inner truth that this is something that I feel like is desired to a certain degree. And the more that you avoid it, this is a very intense angel card. Barakiel. I don't know how to say it right. But the angel of lightning, he's like the YN of angel cards. That's what I get from this card every time I read it. It's like he it says he was renowned for both the power that he commanded and also his lack of respect for it. His fall was the first proof beyond any doubt that the Watchers were not complete in their wisdom or their immortality. So this connects to like Uranus energy, where things just happen. They seem to happen outside of someone's control. It gives chaos energy. This person, and think again, this may be like aspects of you that are being reflected outside of you through this person, but you may work well with chaos energy. You may not actually give yourself credit for it. You may, because again, these are things that you desire on a soul level that are taking place. These are destined actions, destined timelines, coming together. And so it's like things that seem to happen outside of your control that force you into a certain direction. But it all leads to the same thing. Emanation of glory, emptiness in the reverse, knowledge in the reverse, and ruin in the reverse. Interesting. And then we have Aries, which is the start, and then Angel of the Deep. This is telling me with emptiness in the reverse, knowledge in the reverse, and ruin in the reverse, it doesn't matter how much you study. It doesn't matter how much you think that you know on a logical level. Again, Virgo, I analyze in the reverse. Doesn't matter how much this is going to mess up everything that you've built. You spend all this whole time putting time into blah, 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 blah. Everything is supposed to make sense. It does not matter. When it comes to stepping into your higher path, the emanation of glory, this is what you truly desire, to really connect with your inner light. Honestly, it makes it worth it to lose all of these things. And being someone that has gone through what feels like a death portal energy before, and I've come out and had everything replaced tenfold, like, I know it sucks. But also, when you actually get through it and you're like on the other side, you're like, wow, this is better. You know what I'm saying? Like, I even tell my friend all the time when we kind of reflect on those times, I guess, or like that time of transition. I tell her, like, I don't even know how I got through. I could not imagine. You know what I'm saying? It goes beyond what your mind had planned for yourself. It goes beyond, because these are like deep seated soul desires. These are seeds that you planted a long time ago. And so it goes beyond the limitations of the mind and trying to make sense of something. And so this masculine, and or you may be feeling this activation as well, past lives, yes. 3 stars. I need a past life that has like a 5-star rating. I don't need a traumatic past lifetime or a timeline to come up that I have to heal the soul fragment from. Um, but this may be something that you're experiencing as well in your own way, you know? You may be going through another, that she can't even make it up, the thread in the heart. Someone's on that other side of the thread and they're going through an activation. So maybe this is just to let you know, but but the rewards are nice from the timeline jumps. Yes. Judge and mm, arrows. Hmm. No. Um, the judge, the anima mundi, and Eros is telling me it was interesting because I just did a release thing, and I said, I discovered that the fear of judgment is what keeps me from doing some of the things that I would like to do. This could be a related theme that you guys share, but it feels like the fear of judgment keeps you from what you truly desire. The fear of judgment keeps this person from what you truly desire or from what they truly desire. Maybe they fear judgment from a father figure, or they could have religious programming, judgment from Sky Daddy, you know what I'm saying? And they could be actually a pretty like alternative being meant to break the mold, and they could fear judgment due to dogma that they've been programmed with, The womb. Hmm. And the shaman. And the nectar. OMG. This is serving as double activation. That's what I'm getting confirmation of. Whatever ability that you are turning on at the moment, like I said, hidden gifts, you guys are you have the ability to go into the void spaces and to help them to remove the mask with the sweetness, with the love, the nectar, and connect like with the shaman card. You have the ability to help them with removing this mask. You're doing some timeline things to help them with releasing the fear of judgment. Mhm. The stone, the vow, the fucking prophecy, that's what I'm saying. The prophecy. This literally feels like a damn, the medallion legacy. What wants to pop through there? The potential. Yeah, the empty room. This is the potential timeline. Should you be willing to parkour through these timelines? Parkour, parkour, parkour through these timelines. There is something that is set in stone. This is also giving, this sword here, Excalibur. You may want to look into Excalibur. It just popped into my mind. Um, there's something that is written in stone, a commitment, a vow, I'm hearing like I'll be back for you type of thing. Like, but it's like giving me like a movie, like this love story is very like fantasy like movie like, a prophecy of a flame, of a twin flame, And I don't use the word lightly, but it's giving in this reading. That's what it's giving. But it's like to go and to release, and this may be timeline work that you're doing on yourself that also like loosens the thread. That could be something like that. But I feel like you're going back and like doing some timeline work with this other person. That's what it feels like. The Starborn. Like for real, for real. Thank you. The Starborn. This is also giving life to something because we have the womb, the nectar, and then the starborn. It's like something being birthed from this. Going on a pilgrimage. Yeah, you're going into the astral. That's interesting because the past few nights too, my phone, I listen to things before I fall asleep all the time. and sometimes they'll just keep playing things and playing things, right? In the past few nights, I put my phone on shuffle of like, what should I watch? And the same video came up twice, a Damien Eccles video on astral travel. So when I see the pilgrim in the ocean, I see you going into the subconscious. I see you going into the astral realms and doing some kind of shamanic work, some kind of shamanic healing that could be related to this other person. Look at the tarot. Let's get some specifics because we've been in the waves. And then I'm gonna hop off here. But yeah, it feels like this person, if you're feeling their energy a lot, and again, you're being called to focus on your other things. But I really feel like it's a gift is turning on to you. You may be naturally helping them, because I wanna be mindful too of saying that, like, you don't wanna be just, like, being like, "Oh, I'm gonna astral travel to this person," without their will. You know what I'm saying? Like, their invitation. You don't wanna be, like, intruding on another person's energy like that, you know? But you may naturally find that you have some dreams of this person, or that you, um, remember things from past lives when you wake up or something like that, you know? Um Death and the Six of Pentacles. If I'm telling you, a big transformation is happening, but it's like mutual. You guys are both doing it. But I think that as you are healing something, or you may be going there, I don't know. Maybe you guys are both meeting each other. Someone said, I said, someone said, Spirit said, someone out there said, Spirit said, you guys need the sword, the Excalibur sword. I don't know that story off the top of my head, but maybe the story of Excalibur is, like, important, or, like, I know that there was a thing of, like, not everybody could pull the sword out of the stone, you know? But Spirit is also confirming that I'm on track, with the Ace of Swords. Yeah. Five of Wands. And that's interesting. That came out off Five of Wands. We have the Three of Pentacles. Uh-huh. This is so trippy because it's like the Three of Pentacles, like, this person, again, you guys have a mutual understanding. Yes, the sword and the stone. Yeah, the only the divinely chosen king would be able to pull the sword out of the stone. Period. Yes. And this is kind of like, I guess, giving the story. You said he was chosen as a child related to King Arthur. Interesting. Because it's like there's something about needing help, the Three of Pentacles, needing help. Um, Merlin. Yes, I love Merlin. I feel like Merlin is like I feel like Merlin be ready to help out. Like, he's like, all you have to do is call him Merlin. Just call him Merlin. Um, and also his chief advisor. Interesting. Merlin gives me okay, so going back to I mentioned something about Egypt. Merlin gives me Thoth vibes. We have, like, different cultures, that's not just a cultural difference, a whole timeline difference. It's like time period difference. But and I said timeline difference. You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, where I'm going with that? Um, but Merlin gives me Thoth vibes. It gives me Hermes vibes. It gives me magician vibes. He's the same archetype as the magician. And so maybe pulling out it feels like getting into your magic bag, you know? Um, Let me see. I'm gonna need to read these comments. Merlin was the magician and also the chief advisor. Okay, and that's when kings were chosen divinely, not necessarily by blood. Period. But we need to bring that back. Um, we have. There's also something with manifest destiny. Definitely, though. Yes, trickster energy. Facts. That's what. There's something about that too that's been coming up, like, in and out, in and out. Not in this message necessarily, but I feel like in general, like shapeshifter energy, you know? but I feel like that's kind of related with the shaman card and the masks here with the comic, because there's also like, what is it, the Toltecs that do the dreaming? Oh, the dreaming. Yes, the Toltec, they do the dream shamanism, the astral. And the way that they train for that is they do mirror work and they imagine themselves wearing a mask of an animal and they embody the animal and they can embody that animal in the dream realm or vice versa. They invite the animal to like guide them to something in the dream realm. Um, when you're born with the gifts to lead, they would develop you through your life, but it was already in you. So like your destiny was already written. Yes. It feels like there's something there with that, but I don't feel like I'm not getting mirror work. I mean, you can do mirror work. There's nothing wrong with doing mirror work, but I feel like this is connecting with the womb. It's connecting with the quantum in the womb space. So the one that's doing this astral travel and parkour is the feminine for sure. But it's like this needing help, right? But this like the feminine didn't understand her gift. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of cups in reverse. Sorry, it's like such a glare. But she didn't understand her gift, or she didn't like at one point she didn't understand her gift. She'd be like, "What? I don't even feel like I'm giving anything." Going back to the beginning of the reading, they thought that you were so generous, you know? Yes, the totems, the animal totems. It's getting real mystical in here. But if you don't understand your value, you don't understand how you can help this person. You don't understand how you can free them on another timeline. You don't understand how you can align to the destined timeline where the prophecy is written in the stone. You don't understand how you can remind them of their kingship. And then we have the star and we have the ace of wands now. How are you supposed to remind them of their kingship if you don't understand your queenship? Interesting. I'm not even making it up. The Nine of Pentacles, that's the pre-Empress. You know, how are you going to understand? How are you going to activate a king if you don't understand your queenship? So that's why Spirit is having you focus on yourself. But also, I feel like in this time of focusing on self, connecting with the womb space is definitely coming up for sure, because this also connects you to the quantum realms, connects you to all that is, because you connect to all that is within. That's why that potential card wanted to pop out, the empty room, you know? You just slapped me. That card flew out too. Now I'm hearing the Lauryn Hill lyric. How you gonna win when you ain't right with it? Literally, the Four of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ten of Wands in the reverse. How you gonna win? What do you ain't right? This is so bright. It's not even funny. It doesn't even make sense. You can't even see the cards. But yes, arriving essentially to your destination timeline where this potential or this starborn, it feels like you understanding that you are like you're that missing piece. You know what I'm saying? You understanding your value and actually your gifts and the ability to really connect to and activate this, not just this person, but like I feel like this connection is connected to your higher timeline. But if you weren't seeing your value, you weren't going to connect to your higher timeline, and you definitely weren't going to connect to this person on a higher timeline, because you wouldn't be able to activate them to get them on the higher timeline. Yes, because to be a chosen one, you also had to go through the remembering as a part of your journey and coming into kingship. Yes, because we all have our divine feminine and masculine within us too. We have the Fool in reverse. Why do I feel like Spirit's laughing at us right now? Like, you fool. They are. The Fool and the High Priestess. They're like, you fool. And the Two of Cups. You can't even make it up. They're like, you fools. We were trying to get you to this place for so long and you just refused. You kept being like, but they're not texting me back. But they're not texting me back. They're not talking to me. Why are they not talking to me? They're like, "Oh, you get it now. You get it." The prophecy, what's written in stone is on the higher timeline. So, we have the Page of Swords and we have the King of Cups. So, yes, you are right. They are watching you. They are feeling deep feelings. They're feeling all of the things. And the Wheel of Fortune, the Empress in reverse, you must go into the void, the Hermit card. You must go deep into your womb space to connect with what feels like mythical time, to connect with different timelines, and to align yourself to your highest timeline. It's like your womb will give them a signal, when it's time. Yes, because the Six of Wands in reverse is not something that's gonna happen. It doesn't matter how many subliminals you post. It doesn't matter how good you look. It doesn't matter when the time is right. This person also, not for nothing, King of Cups, they're very intuitive. They know when it's time. But I feel like Spirit is saying that it's time to kind of go within with the Hermit card. It's time for another Hermit mode. And I don't think, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I was not expecting another Hermit mode. I was not expecting another Hermit. I just had a Hermit mode. You know what I'm saying? Ah, I just it doesn't matter. This is what they're saying with the King of Swords and the challenge and the Seven of Swords and the challenge or seven of Swords, Seven of Wands. It's like they're like, relax the mind. It doesn't matter what you say. You could say, and that's the thing, like I think that we've had this experience too. We could want to rush the conversation or want to have clarity or whatever. And like if it's just not the right time, the words won't even like connect right, you know? You could be explaining something to the best of your ability and they will not understand and vice versa if it's not the right time? And so it's like you could try to rush that but it's because you're not on the same timeline? Yeah, 7 of Cups. It would be confusing. They're saying like you can have a conversation if you want to. Like, they're like it's not going to lead to anything because you guys are not on the same timeline. It's going to be two different timelines talking to one another? Um and so they're saying that you have to go within again, judgment now, and then the Ace of Cups. This is going to lead to a big rebirth. This is going to connect you to um oh, I just heard your resurrection timeline. It's like resurrecting the womb? We have the Ace of Cups and the Judgment card if you can't see. Um but it's like your resurrection timeline is like connected to your womb. Ooh, resurrection timeline. Six of Pentacles in reverse, and then 9. And I didn't say it out loud, but I just saw an email that said 996. And now we have Six of Pentacles in reverse and the Nine of Swords. I feel like that's y'all are both like this. Both of y'all are feeling like this at night, can't sleep, picking up on each other's energy, probably having dreams about each other again, like going into the astral, all the things. You feeling like low key attacked or like, should I get rid of this person's energy? Should I be clearing the energy? Blah, blah, blah. Like you're feeling like this, or like having a hard time. I feel like if you're having sleep issues, this could be related to this. Speaking to myself, but like Six of Pentacles in reverse. And it's like both of you guys are not understanding what is trying to be exchanged. And Spirit is saying that I feel like I feel like really the person that is connecting to like yeah, Five of Swords in reverse is telling me that I'm very clear. Because I was like, is it really just on this? I wouldn't say it's on this one person, but you are activating them. You are helping them by activating your gifts by connecting on a different timeline, really connecting to your timeline hopping abilities, um, you are leading this connection. You are creating the resurrection timeline. So how are they gonna meet you on this timeline if you have not created it? You know what I'm saying? It was always written for you to arrive on that timeline that you have to create. So we have the Hangman in reverse, and then we have the Knight of Swords, and then we have the Magician. Merlin said, "Ask him, how do you create a timeline? Quickly, quickly." He has the Knight of Sword. Quickly, quickly. Now that you have clarity with the Hangman in reverse, you can free yourself from this void space and you turn within and you connect to the quantum that lives within your womb. Merlin is saying, ask me how to create the resurrection timeline. I'll gladly help you. I'll gladly give you the guidance with the moon card. I'll gladly help you navigate the subconscious and the astral realms. The 10 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. I'm hearing that TikTok sound, like building my For You page brick by brick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I built this For You page brick by brick. I think people comment that, but it's also a sound. Like, I built this brick by brick, you know? And so you are creating this brick by brick. Even my For You page is like, it's an algorithm. It's a bunch of decisions, a bunch of habits, a bunch of investments, a bunch of decisions that you make to create your dream timeline. This is bringing me back to that Virgo energy where it's like habitual, you know? Again, devoted energy, creating like an energy of devotion and showing up every day and not Virgo over analyzing, but Virgo being like, this is my dream timeline. I'm going to build it day by day, brick by brick. I'm going to build this For You page brick by brick. And we have the 8 of Cups now. So what are you walking away from, or where are you walking towards? Walking towards your divinity. We have the Temperance card. I'm trying to show the cards, but it's like walking away and walking into temperance. They're bringing me back to when I said Saturn was sitting on the neck. Saturn was sitting on, like, you have to be committed, you have to devote, you have to do this, you have to enter into this time frame, which looks like a hermit mode to connect with that quantum to pick your timeline, you know? And you need focus for this. You need um this is not just about this love connection. This is about your legacy. That's why we were talking. I think I showed the medallion card. Like, this is your dream timeline, you know? Like, yes, we love this. We love Nine of Pentacles. We love being in our independence. We love being able to take care of ourselves. We love that. Yes, 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 you know? But 10 of Pentacles and getting into your womb space, like creating like generational wealth, connecting to the value that is you. You are the bag type thing, you know, and it's just like ever flowing, you know? And it's like making investments. This is also giving making investments so that you can build wealth, you know? And so with the Temperance card, it's like showing me that there may be some things that you want to keep, I guess. With the 8 of Cups, it's like telling me that there are many things, maybe many connections that you're gonna have to step away from. Um, Maybe I wanna say temporarily, but probably not temporarily, honestly. You're probably gonna have to take a step back and decide what do you wanna keep from this timeline and what do you wanna bring with you know, because we have that alchemy thing going on with Temperance. But it's like, really, I feel like this is more about, like, really stepping into your higher self. We have the Knight of Wands and Justice. Oh, this is like combining your desires, alchemizing What is it that you truly want? And I'm also hearing, um, in regards to this relationship too, I feel like there's like a freedom blueprint in this relationship that's coming through because we have the temperance and then we have nine of wands. It's like double like fire energy and like you need like freedom. You know what I'm saying? You need air and you need some fire. You need like both. And so there's like this I feel like a different type of blueprint that's coming through with like relationships, a different type of balance that comes with relationships and it's like a way more free. So I guess it's like taking like what taking a look at like what didn't you like in this past timeline, maybe with other relationships and what do you actually want? Like being honest about your desires, like what level of freedom do you want? Do you want it's also kind of getting like feeling, like, sexually liberated. I don't know why that's coming through, but yeah, we have the sun. There's, like, vulnerability. He's, like, naked and stuff. It's like you wanna feel free in this connection. I think that that's the baseline. So what does freedom and sovereignty truly mean for you? And what does that look like within relationship dynamics? This is, like I feel like this is they're saying this is the basis, the foundation for your dream timeline is sovereignty. So, like, how does that play into other decisions that you're making about building your dream timeline, you know? You have the 9 of cups and then the devil in reverse. What were you afraid to actually explore in the previous timelines that made you feel shame or judgment, you know? Maybe you didn't allow yourself to be as free as maybe you wanted to be. And that looks different for everyone, you know? Like that really depends on the person. We could be talking as free as like, walking on new beaches together, or we could be talking about polyamory, or you could be talking about, whatever. Maybe monogamy feels good and free, you know? It's something about like liberation through freedom, though. Something about liberation through freedom. Now we have 9, 9. Now I'm picturing yeah, the 8 of Pentacles. Now I'm picturing, like, 2 people coming together, like, holding their hand like this and, like, creating their own little world, you know? I'm picturing, like, them being like, "This is how our relationship is gonna go. This is my little world," you know? You may even be like, again, when you're holding your womb and you're just doing your dreaming and you're doing your meditation and all these things, Spirit is saying you can create your own little world. The womb. Or this the womb. Um, you can create your own little world when you're not afraid to go into the void space and kind of be suspended in the middle of 2 worlds. And that there is like this it feels like you're suspended in time because technically time is suspending, you know? Like you're not participating in the matrix world that you were the timeline that you were in. You're in the middle of transitioning from one world to another, you know? And so you may want to look into to help with like relaxing the mind. You if you need to know how and why these things happen, look into like the Tibetan Book of the Dead that explain the steps of like transformation through the bardo and all the things like the psychological steps that you may experience and spiritual steps that you may experience. But also you could just surrender. You know what I'm saying? Easier said than done. But you are gonna be yeah, it feels like you have to have the courage to be on your own and go into the void space where you may be transitioning in between timelines and trust that you're still going to maintain this independence that you can do both. You can keep the machine running on this like one timeline as you are building another in your mind, in your womb, in the quantum. you know? Ooh, it's giving architect. Okay, final cards. 4 cups in reverse. I did say final card, but I want one more. Strength in reverse. Oh, they're saying don't let your ego play you out of your position. Don't let your ego play you out of your position. We have death on the bottom of the deck in the reverse. Again, be willing to go through the ego death. Be willing to go through the death portal. Be willing to step into the unknown. Be willing to revoke your old timeline. Be willing to take off that mask and enter into a new one. Be willing to create something new, unconventional. I feel like that is based in like rest and freedom and sovereignty. And I feel like you're gonna be something, excuse me, something or someone is on the end of that thread that you are also helping to do this with, for, whatever. So that is the message. Don't let your ego play you out of your position. It's already written on a stone in a galaxy near you. Oh, in a universe, in a multiverse near you. Um, I love how Spirit was calling this out in this reading. It's pretty funny. Um, yeah, thank you guys for being here with me. Like I said, I have like the back end of my stuff is a mess, but if you're interested in a personal reading, you can always message me and I will be happy to do that for you. While I get everything set up because we're building our dream timeline, okay? It's not completely set up right now, but we're working on it. We're refining it. Um, and I hope that you guys have a blessed, beautiful day. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. This was a good one. At first, I was like, oh, we're going to get into another love reading. Great. Because I've been picking up on the vibes. But no, this was, I mean, there was love in it, but that's not the main point, you know? I mean, it is. It's like one of our main motivating factors in this life, but it's so much deeper than that, you know? Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I will see you later.